by different people. People with different backgrounds. So they speak into our lives basing on how they lived.
Sure.
You understand? You will find a teacher who lived a life of total rejection by the parents. He will speak total rejection on you.
Sure.
You will find a father. I will look forward to, of course, enjoying another fresh week, especially those that are working class. For students, I think it's equally another busy week for you. I understand there are exams for A-level starting. They've started today or they're starting in? I haven't followed the match of the examination schedule this time. But we are glad. We hope God has kept you well. Those that are listening to us. There are moments of hardship, and that is part of life, especially those that are going through difficult moments, that are sick, those that have some sort of problems, you've lost a loved one. I doubt whether you may have guts of listening to radio, but just in case you've been caught up in a taxi or somewhere and you're tuned in, we want to say, may the good Lord, of course, comfort you in such a hard moment that you're going through. My name is Innocent. Together with me is Pastor Asaph. Pastor Asaph is the pastor of Rest Assured Fellowship in Mafurira Kayunga. That is Jinja City. Pastor, you're welcome. Hope you're in good mood.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Innocent. Yeah, I want to reach my greetings to all our dear listeners. You were talking about people who have lost their loved ones. We won't say sorry, but I just want to say that at some point we need to always encourage ourselves in the Lord Jesus, most especially all Christians. They understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, there are many people all over the world who normally go through different challenges.
Yes.
And it happens. There's where Apostle Peter wrote that do not be surprised about the different challenges you are going through. Just keep in mind that some other people all over the world are going through the same. And sometimes you may think that your problem is too heavy, while there's someone who has an heavier problem than what you're going through. So it's always good to encourage yourself. Always pray about everything. Ask the guidance of the Holy Spirit and let the Lord encourage you. David says, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. So the Lord will always fill our gaps. He will always carry our burdens, and
Pastor, it's one thing to have good life, maybe sometimes celebrate with the family, with celebrate a promotion at work, maybe get an achievement in life, maybe academic achievement or anything. But the one thing that normally comes in my mind whenever I am at the top of my success is that there is a time when this won't be the thing. Life is full of ups and downs. Unexpectedly, people want to always be having good, always be successful, have the money, build a good home, buy a new car, not knowing that there is a time when things will turn around.
When the journey gets tough.
Get tough, I'm always encouraged by the book of Job.
Yes.
When you look at Job as a prophet, personally, I really regard him as someone who went through what they call a complete life's journey. Because from a life of success to a life of lack and total lack, you understand?
Yes.
Then he all of a sudden again gets back to a life of success, and this time more success than before.
Job's story is very, very funny. It actually makes many people to think maybe it did not happen.
It did not happen, yes.
It was just
something. It's just a story that
was put in the Bible.
In the Bible,
because you can't lose whatever you have. I think the story was summarized within less than an hour when he was getting different news of losing the children, losing the
his animals, and that, you know.
And you know, he just decided to cast the day he was born.
Yeah.
Because this was too much.
Too much of it. Yeah.
After this report, another report comes in. After this report.
Imagine, just give an example that after a report of you losing your job,
yes,
they tell you your child is dead.
Yes.
Then your house, the mortgage, probably been, the bank has taken the house. Shortly, your car has gotten an accident. Just imagine those consecutive problematic situations that you are experiencing as a person,
including your wife
turning against you,
telling you to come.
And you see, Pastor, that is what happens, because when your friends are the kind of friends that have come in your life because of what you have, then they will tell you to curse the day you were born, or even curse the God that you believe in.
Sure.
Reason, they are not used to seeing you in poverty.
Sure.
I tell people that a friend who is in your life because he has seen you assume a position as a manager, take a position as a senior pastor somewhere, maybe a head teacher somewhere, that is not a friend.
Sure.
Because the moment you lose that position, they will definitely turn against you and will never come close to you because they know you're a problem.
Sure.
In fact, test your friends by seeing whether they can rush to you when you tell them you have a problem of luck.
Do you know how somebody tested friends one time? The guy announced himself dead.
Yeah. to just find out who loves him more,
including the women, the wives.
The wives, yes.
Actually said it, none of them as if turned immediately. None of them came for a burial. But friends around came.
Yes.
So he said, I did this to prove who
loves me more.
So he made news on the village.
Yeah.
And that village, I think, you still remember that too. So those are people.
Yeah.
Those are people. But we always need to encourage ourselves during those hard moments. Learn to trust the Lord.
The Lord, yeah.
The Bible says, cursed is the man who trusts in a human being.
Sure.
But blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord.
Yeah, listeners, we started with that angle simply because we believe we need to speak to your spiritual life too. Besides the physical, you equally need the spiritual nourishment to enable you have a journey or a path of life that is definite. Because, you know, we as human beings are mortal. In this case, we die. Therefore, we have a permanent home after this life. We cannot live in a life of thinking that we are going to be in the world forever. It's not the kind. But we all that we speak about in terms of integrity, trust, and whatever is what helps you in this life.
By the way, before we forget,
yes,
let me talk about that one, trust. I'm sorry for those who are not Christians.
Yeah.
We are trying to refer to the Bible because this is where
what we
understand.
Understand, yeah.
There is why it is written that those who trust in the Lord cannot be disappointed.
Sure.
Someone sang the song that love is so good, so enjoyable.
Yeah.
In this life. I think that's where people express whatever, all the feelings they have during that time of love. But again, the singer said, the problem is disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love is so good, but disappointment. The only person who cannot disappoint you is the Lord.
Yeah, true. He who understands you at a point when others have not known you.
Exactly.
When others deny and reject you, in that room where you're going to be tonight, where you're going to lock yourself with all the burdens that you have, there's one voice that can only speak to you and say, look here, my son, all that has happened to you can be nothing as long as you believe.
Sure.
You see, I normally tell people, and to me personally, it's one thing that encourages me to push on, whether I have or not. I am always happy to have one thing, the God I believe in.
Sure.
And that is it. Whether you tell me I don't have money or I don't have positions in life, but I have a God that can help me assume any position that I would wish to actually take. To our listeners, last week we had a very good, wonderful topic that we discussed. And to you who missed, I know Pastor is going to do a bit of a wrap-up of what main issues that we discussed. Before we dive into today's main aspect, this is a continuation of our topic that we had last week. Pastor, I think, take us through some of the main issues that
last week we looked at unlocking somebody's potential. Yeah, where you actually get into to understand who you are.
Yes.
Actually, today will be a very good explanation in that angle.
Yeah.
Where someone get into what they call self. Discovery. Yeah. Understanding yourself. Last week we tried to open it up.
Yeah, we were unlocking, sending it out to you that around you and what you are, the opportunities, probably that you may not have seen, that you've kept your eyes away from seeing, and these are keeping you away from what would actually take you forward.
Yeah. Actually, we are trying to look at what is making us not prosper, not progress in life. Then we are going to use the SWOT approach or the SWOT analysis as you take a self-examination. If you look at yourself, you need to examine your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, and sometimes your threats. Yeah. Before you blame anyone, before you get into the blame game, do you really understand yourself as an individual?
Yep.
Do you understand why you are failing in relationships? Do you understand why your marriage is failing? Yeah. Do you understand why you are moving from one place to another? Not settled in the workplace. Because sometimes we don't see our problems. Yeah. We had to blame. People maybe who are our employers, the people we are married to. But who are we? How do we?
Have you discovered who you are?
Yes. Do you understand yourself? When you try to sit down and think about it, do you really get to understand who you are? So if we start doing that, I think maybe somewhere, somehow, we can understand how we go forward.
That's self-discovery in life is one such important point or position an individual at whatever level has to reach at. Self-discovery unlocks the potential that is buried within you.
Exactly.
For many that don't know, we have admired several people just because we've not understood who we are. I have a role model. My role model has reached a point of self-discovery. They have understood who they are and what they can do. That's why I admire what they do, because they're at that point when they have discovered their full potential.
Sure.
For every person that is alive, God created in you something unique. We mentioned that last week.
Yes.
But the uniqueness of that thing in you can only be unlocked with your own self-discovery.
Exactly.
And the moment you don't discover yourself, you always move in darkness. You always move in ignorance. You always move in self-denial. You always move in a position of someone who feels they are disadvantaged because you have not discovered who you are. And that is not going to be done by your academic qualification. Self-discovery is not done by academic documents.
Sure.
However much you're going to earn a degree, the first one, the second one, the third one, even the fourth one, no matter the number, as long as you've not discovered the inborn potential that you have, then it's going to take you long. I always speak about this, that for many of us, we use our education system to discover who we are. I want to become an accountant. Maybe I speak that while I'm in primary. I want to become a doctor. Maybe I speak that while I'm in senior 4. But yet, in you have something beyond just being a doctor.
Sure.
You have something beyond. You are in yourself denying what God gave you. Because it is discovered. How do you discover it? You discover it by, one, meditation. Think about from the top to the bottom who you are. Do you understand who you are? Some people do not know who they are.
Yes.
I will know, personally, innocent. I am not someone who takes long in terms of feeling. I don't want people to feel bad. That is me. If I have something, I want to share it with someone. That is what I have. Sure. And normally, I will speak this. My wife tells me that don't stay with money in the pocket because you're going to give it out. Because I feel like I don't want to make you feel pain. I want to give you, however little it is, please share it with me. Now, with that, I have potential in me buried that has a charity organization.
Sure.
You understand? That is a charity movement, a huge one. And you see, Pastor, I don't know whether this happens to you. Many of us think that when you get money and you are rich, maybe you're wealthy, then you've discovered who you are.
Sure.
No, it's not the case. The life's journey is always reduced to be something like wealth. That is not true. I want to do what I feel best with, whether serving the poor, whether giving life to someone that is dying. That is the discovery. That is why you see that in the professions that we confess, for example, a doctor, a teacher, there is someone who does something with passion and does it beyond what others do. That person has discovered who they are using their profession, using what they are going through. You feel like this lady does not feel tired to actually work on patients. She's a midwife, she's a nurse. She discovered herself. That is what she is. And then when it comes to another person, maybe another nurse, that is not her calling.
Sure.
Because self-discovery, in short, is a calling. It's a mission that God put in your life. And that is what we are judged on when the time comes. What did I give you? I gave you 5 cents. What did you use them for? I gave you 3. What did you use them?
Sure.
Did you multiply them? The multiplication is not profit. The multiplication is the benefit. Did I help Pastor Asaph, who was needed to change his life?
Sure.
That is what the other Western world has done. They do things because they discovered themselves. We do things because we want to be powerful. We want to have authority. We want to have money. Money is not the issue. However much you actually accumulate all the money that this country has in one room, and it is not benefiting the lives of others through the calling that you have of your self-discovery, there is a problem somewhere.
I think I can talk about self-discovery in terms of business, for example.
Yes.
You may be a business person who is doing, maybe you have a retail shop. You start your retail shop, and from nowhere, they see you selling maybe produce. And from nowhere, they find you doing a supermarket. From nowhere, they find you selling clothes. You are trying different entities or products.
Yes.
Because you have not sat down to think about it. What exactly can you do?
Yeah. You've not discovered where
People have discovered what they can do. There are people who concentrate.
Yes.
There are people who set goals. Someone can say, okay, this retail shop is disturbing me, but I know within 5 years it will work. So I need to concentrate on what makes a retail shop. And that's all. Even if I see someone selling tomatoes and they are selling like What?
I will not divert my mind to tomatoes
because I don't
concentrate on the retail shop.
I don't understand the tomato business. If I'm not a good presenter on radio, I will not run for that job. Because Innocent is getting money out of it. Then you speak like Innocent, maybe I will also get money. No, you need to understand what you can do.
Sure.
And that's how most people have failed. They have ended up competing with others. But competing in things they don't know.
It is now profitable.
Yes. Yeah. So people keep running from one job
to another,
from one business to another. They keep trying because in them they have never sat down to understand who they are and what they can do best.
You may add this also, Pastor. There is this false thinking that when I go to a prominent businessman, ask them, how do you do it? You see, I want also to start a business, and then you get lectures from them without you understanding where your potential is. You will actually you think that you will be that powerful businessman in town. It might not come to be. There is something so different that this businessman has discovered of himself that you have it.
I've seen this with IT guys.
Yeah.
Those who deal in IT, they can do a lot of things. You find someone knowledgeable about many things. But their problem is concentration. What exactly do you do best?
That's
I can do social media, I can do this, I can fix computers, I can. So you find someone running in different...
Because he wants to make the quick money. He wants to make the computer money, he wants to go and do the cameras, he wants to do everything. Please, there is something special that you have that others do not have. And if you actually concentrated on it, it will give you more money than anything else. Please, our listeners, we are getting back. Let's go for a short commercial break. Don't tune off. Words of wisdom for actually being tuned in. This is what we call Smart FM. And we have our usual Monday show as part of the Integrity Network. That's the only Monday that you hear these voices, mine and for Pastor. It's because we are here to talk to you. We are very, very happy that a couple of you have actually begun calling us, visiting us, encouraging this work that we are doing. And we are not going to get tired. We are speaking these issues of integrity until we see our country, our world change. I know we are fighting against evil. And evil is never fought and results are seen immediately. As believers, we know that Christ was on this world for a very short time, but the evil doers still existed. Though he was actually preaching good, he was preaching salvation. So a lot of things have to be considered. It's between doing good and staying as you are by doing bad. Our main concentration as pathway here is to see that people do good and that we win evil. We are located in Ginger City as a CBO doing this work. We invite people to come and give us new ideas, come with something that you believe can change our world for better. Self-discovery is what we are discussing this evening. Have you discovered who you are? Are you waiting to discover when you are about to go? In life, no one is going to discover or help you discover who you are. It has to be you. And when you discover your potential, you discover yourself, I'm telling you, everything becomes quick because you're never taken by what others say. You go by what you believe in. Pastor.
Actually, when you talk about self-discovery, I've been reminded how many times people struggle in their marriages.
Yeah.
Thinking that maybe when I leave this wife and marry another one, I'll get better.
No, it's not the case.
So they keep marrying from one wife
to another,
just to find maybe that moment of peace, that moment of enjoyment. But people are created differently.
Sure.
Look at a situation where two different people are coming together, but growing from different environments.
Yeah.
You need to understand who you are and the person you've gotten married to. So you start learning each other when you're in marriage.
Yeah.
There will be ups and downs, but you need to be patient and endure. Because even if you move from that home to another home, still you will find challenges.
Yeah. True.
Because the people you are getting married to, you did not grow with them.
Yeah.
You are new to each other, and so you need to be patient to each other. Sometimes men say, no, the woman must submit, and whatever I said, they should follow.
Yeah.
It may be true, but again, understand that these are also human beings who have feelings, who have things they desire in their lives, and so you also need to be patient. You can't be the only right person in marriage.
No, exactly. Definitely.
At some point, you may be wrong. Yes, you want this person to please you, but how are you pleasing them?
Yeah.
How are you dealing with your weaknesses in order to make your marriage better? Do you want to say that you don't have any problem? That's why you are ever blaming your partner? No. You must also be having something she or he is enduring. But just because they don't mention that all the time, and because they are always quiet, doesn't mean that you are doing better.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, so self-discovery, it can also help our marriages
to be stable and to do better.
Yeah, before you point
a finger at someone. Look, check yourself.
Check yourself.
You might be doing worse.
You might be the problem.
There is that point in life, Pastor, that makes people to sometimes regret who they are and even sometimes condemn themselves. Self-condemnation has been done by many. I know even to our listeners that are tuned in, you may find yourself feeling that you are unworthy. Why me? Why is it that I am poor? Why is it that I am in Mayuge, not Ginger City?
Sure.
Why am I finding myself being a teacher, not a lawyer? That is a state of failing to understand who you are. It is one thing that you have failed to appreciate the beauty, the wonderful creation that you are. That's why you attach your success and being what you are to positions,
sure,
to locations, to wealth. Okay? So you reduce the entire humanity that you are to maybe a job, to a profession, to and I'm telling you, there are people that are in positions of what you are admiring,
sure,
and they hate being in those positions. You're actually crying to be a lawyer. People are running from that position. They're saying, how I wish I was maybe again a peasant, maybe, because it comes with a cost. You understand? It comes with a cost. So do not at any moment condemn yourself of what you are. Self-discovery will help you know that you are beyond positions. You're beyond just mere money. Money is paper. You're beyond just mere being a son of a president or a son of so and so. It will make you understand how deep the meaning of your creation is. When we read the Bible, this is something that I really do several times. When maybe I'm low in spirit, I say one thing. God created human beings, and in this case created our great grand who is Adam. And at the end of the creation, the word that God said is what encourages me to live on. Because he said, when he created man, he saw it was good. There is no creation that God created and said, now this was fair or this was lacking. All creation was good. And by saying good, that creation passed what we call the test of being. Because had it not to be good, then it would not be living, or it would not be in creation.
And you even know that everything he created, first day, second day, third day, he could conclude by, and it was good.
It was good. That alone tells you that God never made any mistake. You are not a mistake in this life. You are there, no matter the background. Probably you are born from a very poor background. Yes, that is okay. We've heard of so many poor people that have gone through poverty and become people that have helped this world change. Great men in this world have never been men that have grown in easy life. They've been men and women that have grown from hardship. From hardship is where they actually change the world. Talk about any great man that you know, great woman that you know in this world. Their background, their start, their beginning talks about a humble beginning. So for you to think that it's going to be all a bed of roses and therefore life is going to be so easy, things are going to move your way, that is not true. But however, I don't want to leave this point by not telling you. There are certain stages in life, in self-discovery, where we need to prune some of the heavy burdens on us and lay them off. You've carried on your shoulder what is not meant to carry, what you're not meant to carry, and move on with.
Sure.
You've carried on your shoulder some behaviors, some habits, some characters that are not yours. Because
are making people try.
Exactly. You've just inherited or taken them from your friends, from the people that are around you. But that is not you.
Do you know that one day I met a group of boys and I started talking to them.
Yeah.
When I talked to them deeply, I realized they were lacking. They were unemployed and they were actually seeking for what to do. Somebody who can help them get to the next level.
Yes.
And then I told them that, but by virtue of your look, if somebody looks at you, you may think you are a yai.
Yeah.
You are thugs of this village. And they may not even be interested in giving you a job. An opportunity. Because they just judge you by the way you look. Yes, they judge you by the look. So work out your lifestyle. Work out your look. Yes. Let people understand that you have no problem. Yeah. So that you can be helped. I normally say that when I look at someone, what runs in my mind is exactly what is going to make me decide on what to do for them. When I look at you and see a person who is a thief, and how does a thief look like before stealing? You know, I will look at you and say, this is a thief. I think I've ever had that kind of talk. Yes. Something has been done in a community. No, don't disturb yourselves. It's so and so that stole this. Whether he has or not stolen, they just conclude. It is simply because you have actually defined and identified yourself to be a thief in your making, in your thinking, in your actions, and in your everything. There are people in life that you will always argue to an extent of saying, even if it's going to prison, I'll go for his case. Because they are really innocent. This guy is not what you think he is. Well, how do they do it? Because they have discovered who they are. People can actually argue and even defend them, with or without them. Let me talk about Christians, for example.
Yeah.
The Bible says that you know them by their fruits. Many times we take time to explain to people that they are born again Christians. You know, you can trust me, I'm a Christian. But
you spend a lot of talk on who you are,
explanation defining yourself. But people will always know you by
your fruit, by your actions,
by your actions, your lifestyle. They will always wait. They will watch you over time. So look at yourself and understand who you are. Are you defined by what you say?
Okay.
If you say, I belong to Christ, does Christ look
like you? Exactly.
Do you really fit in being a Christian?
Because, look here, it's more than just going to church and holding a Bible.
Exactly.
Because even Satan goes to church. Just know that Satan moves to church. If you're arguing with me, go to the book of Job. You know that Satan went amongst those that went to worship God. If you don't know about who you are, especially by your position of a confessed Christian, look back at your actions.
Exactly.
I ask people normally, it's not a force. Don't speak anytime and all the time. Speak when it is necessary. Don't speak anytime and all the time. Speak when it's necessary. Because no one has forced you to deceive. Why do you deceive?
Sure.
No one has forced you to pledge. Why do you pledge? No one has forced you to promise. Why do you promise? These are your words. You have the conscience that actually selectively gives out what to say.
Sure.
Why are you leading your brain to take you to a direction of saying what you cannot do? That is lack of self-discovery. When you say something, let it be said with a meaning. Mean it that I've said it. Whether it's going to please me or not, let it be said. Reason, if I am known by what I say, I'm going to be identified by that. And all the people that are around me will know that this person, this is what he is.
Actually, when you are known by what you say, he is identified by what you do.
Let's get back after a short commercial break. That part of our show that we get to interact with the audience on self-discovery. We are still on our main topic of unlocking your potential that we started last week. So you can just get in touch with us. Your submission. Pastor, as we wait for the callers, to those that would love to join us on a Thursday, we always have a Google Meet.
Yeah.
It starts from 8 p.m. to 9:30.
Yeah.
So feel free to join us. We have that WhatsApp number that you can use to request to be part of this meeting from Bugembe. We are trying our best to do field visits. Of course, we are limited by finances. That's why we try to do it on radio, such that the message actually runs to many people. But we would wish to actually reach out to these young people. We have school programs that we haven't yet started, but when funds are available, we shall do that. We shall go to schools, talk to these young people. Okay, as we wait for more call-ins, please ensure that you discover who you are. Don't go by what others say about you. You know, Pastor, we've had people that have taken on what they have said they are.
Yes.
Someone just from nowhere tells you, you are not beautiful. I don't want to always use the word you're ugly. Because in my vocabulary, it does not actually feature. You're not beautiful. You know, you're this, you're bad, you're that, you're harsh, you're that. Those descriptions kind of put a dark tint on your life. And if you are not so careful, you'll carry that to define who you are.
Sure.
By what we do. You know, we are nurtured by different people. People with different backgrounds. So they speak into our lives basing on how they lived.
Sure.
You understand? You will find a teacher who lived a life of total rejection by the parents. He will speak total rejection on you.
Sure.
You'll find a father or mother that was in the same bracket. They will speak their background, what they live, into your life. But one thing I normally tell people that please reject that. Do not accept them. Say, I am not that. Speak to yourself, even in the morning. Speak to how beautiful you are. Speak to how strong you are. Speak to how God created you to win today.
Sure.
You're going to win in your life. Then finally, Pastor, as we wind up, because we have only 4 minutes to conclude the show.
Yeah, we want to encourage most especially the youth they are talking about. Yesterday I was driving with a friend who had just closed his business, a restaurant business, because he employed someone And this person messed up with that business.
Sorry.
So it made him to close it, and 4 workers were sent off.
Sorry.
So he was telling me that these people now are at home doing nothing.
Because of a mistake done by one.
Yeah. Just because someone did not discover themselves, why they have been employed, why they are in that restaurant. Instead of working hard, making sure that they make money to grow the business, to please their boss and also keep themselves at the workplace, they ended up now messing up with the business, trying to steal the money they make, including the capital. So the owner became annoyed. I said, okay, I have money to feed my family. I have money to look
I better close this business because it is headache to me.
So 4 people loses the job.
Because of one silly mistake.
Exactly.
That was done by the other.
Not discovering your problem.
Guys, as we wind up, when we fully discover who we are in this country, in Uganda, in Busoga, we won't lack. Because by self-discovery, everyone will be responsible to grow enough food for their family.
Sure.
Everyone will be responsible to serve this country, our motherland, which is Uganda. We shall turn this a food basket of the world because we've discovered who we are. People will come from all over the world. You know, there are countries that are known for being loving. Can you imagine?
Sure.
A country known for being loving, friendly, one that actually does things the right way. We want to identify and put a mark in this world that we are self-discovering us. We are discovering ourselves on a daily to better the world that we live in.
Sure.
To you that have joined in today and listen to us, tune in again on Monday. We shall be here with a lot of this and more. It is a good night from us.